Hello and welcome everyone to The Entrepreneur, bringing you the remarkable stories of entrepreneurs to inspire, guide and propel your own dreams. I'm Esther Edichumua, your host for this thrilling adventure. Today, we dive into the incredible story of Christabel Ofori, the CEO of Avcalo Ventures, the company behind the floor care beauty products. Get ready to be inspired as she shares her remarkable story, unveiling the secret to success. Please stay with us because we are all about building the next generation of successful entrepreneurs. Hello, welcome Christabel to the Entrepreneur Show.
Thank you, Esther. Hello.
It's been an amazing time. Getting to know your products over some time now, and I decided to bring you on board because I think you're doing something really wonderful.
Thank you.
But somebody watching would love to know. So let's ask you, can you please take us back to when this idea started? Why entrepreneurship and why what you were doing?
Well, I would say I've always been an entrepreneur. So like anytime there's an issue or I find a gap where I am, I try to bridge it, and basically that's what an entrepreneur does. And it goes as far back as like high school, uni. I remember after uni, like this where I was doing my national service, I started selling sobolo.
Oh wow.
Because I noticed that it was like an office enclave and people were always looking for like juices and drinks to drink. And I grew up in Takrade where like sobolo was called bisap. Like it was very common there and they had like amazing recipes. So basically I started doing that. Even before my national service in school, I used to sell makeup. So there were a lot of like foreigners, Nigerians, and I realized that they actually like to make up a lot. But there wasn't any shop on campus that sells those kind of stuff. So I went to Black Secret or something. I was passing in Edum one day. I saw their place. I was like, actually, I could do this. So I entered, had a conversation with them that I want to wholesale your products on campus, and they agreed. And I was basically selling makeup products on campus. So like it goes all the way back. But with actually what I'm doing now, it started with starting a family. So when I had my first son, he had really dry skin. It was also sensitive. So the usual like mother care products were just not working there. Johnson's, Cousins, the lotions were just not working for him. So it went on for over like 6 months, almost a year. And then my mom was like, have you actually tried the local shea butter? And I was like, in Kuto. At that time, you know, it wasn't this fancy and it hadn't picked up this much. But then I decided, let me just give it a try. I went to the market. First of all, I go to the market, but I never shop for shea butter in the market. So when I went, it was even difficult navigating like where to find shea butter. Because I only knew where to find the fish, the tomatoes and things like that. Eventually I found some. It didn't look appealing. It was dusty, it was naked. I was like, this is not something I want to use on my son. So like fast forward, I found some that I wanted. I took it home. It was hard. Applying it was another issue. Like there were just too many hurdles with finding the shea butter and using it on him. But eventually when I did, I saw like remarkable results in like 2 weeks.
Whoa.
I was like, so we have like this treasure. Nobody is talking about. I remember that when I had my baby and I was going like shopping, I asked one of my friends who already had a baby that, what products will you recommend? And she was just mentioning the foreign brands like Aveeno and this and that. Like, so we have this. Nobody ever mentioned. So my mom was like, have you used shea butter? So I saw that there's something in it, and then I became really intrigued. And my background is chemical engineering. And then I used to work in Unilever, so production and all of those things. So I was like, no, I want to find out more. So I started researching. I got to know more about coconut oil, which is also something my auntie always used to mention about. Like, she doesn't live in Ghana, but every time she comes to Ghana and she's like, coconut oil. The entrepreneur in me was like, okay, we can actually make this and sell. So initially I started with the raw shea butter, but whipped. You know, I told you about how I struggled with finding correct shea butter, and then it was chunky. It was very difficult to apply, so I whipped it. Okay. So I started with raw shea butter, whipped to smooth perfection. Like, you love to use it, and shea butter became appealing. It was nicely packaged. I went to Accra, I went to look for packaging. That's how it started. Then I had some with shea butter and coconut oil. So basically it was the simple things, but something that would definitely moisturize, nourish your skin. And that's basically how it started. And then with time, I increased the range.
Wow, this is simply amazing. So for how long now you've been doing this?
So I started my business in 2017, November of 2017. I formally registered it but I think I started in October.
Oh, okay.
But formally registered November of 2017. So November this year will be 7 years actually.
Wow, incredible. We all know that entrepreneurs face some level of challenges when they start. What were your challenges and how did you get over them? To have come this far, 7 years.
You definitely have to be consistent. You have to persist. As you said, there are a lot of challenges. So I'm starting with how I've come this far, and then I'll talk about some of the challenges. And I think the God factor too, like you cannot take God out of it.
I love that.
Yes, definitely the God factor. And you should have a supportive family, community, network. So I think I have a very supportive family. When it comes to extended family, actually a lot of them were not in approval for some reason, because I mean I used to work with Unilever, I used to work in the factory. They felt like I had a stable job, a prominent job. You can just say I'm the manufacturing manager of Unilever, and you stop that and you're selling shea butter basically. Yeah. So not all of them supported, but at least the people around me supported, and that was very important. When it comes to the challenges, many. First of all, being a small business owner, you're basically everything. You're the CEO, you're the marketing person, you're the production person, you're the sales person. So combining all of those things, it wasn't too difficult for me because being a manufacturing manager, I was basically managing people and doing a lot of things, but it was very challenging because I also had a baby or babies, and that's the inspiration why I started. So navigating that, I was still working with Unilever, and I was doing this on the side. So like the whole time management thing.
Exactly.
Secondly, marketing. You've created an amazing product backed by science, backed by research, but you go to shops and it's like, we don't know your brand, or we don't even know you. You are competing with bigger brands. So that was also very challenging, and I almost gave up in that regard. Like, okay, I took it to several shops and it's like, we don't know your brand. We don't, like, yeah, exactly. There wasn't that support. Another challenge would definitely be financial, but for me, I didn't make that bother me too much. I tried to take a step at a time. So what I started with and what I could afford is what I started with. So it's made growth. So organic growth is a bit slow, but I think it's the best.
Okay.
I feel like in the past 7 years, I've grown organically to this stage, and it's been challenging in a way because it gets to a point where you feel like I should be making more than I'm making now, but it takes time, and for me that has been it.
How do you manage your deliveries since most of your customers are online? How do you manage your deliveries?
So with growth, we've partnered with several like courier services. So then we have like a partnership with them so that as and when there's an order, they pick up, and because it's a partnership, they've given us like good deals. So because sometimes, delivery can seriously deter someone from purchasing your products, but the way forward is to partner with delivery companies and then give your customers like a good deal that even though they are far, they know that it's a good deal, let me just purchase.
Wow. 7 years, you are definitely not where you started.
Definitely.
What was a turning point for your business?
I would say the accelerator programs have helped. So once I've been in like 4. I've been in 4, and each of them takes at least 3 months.
Okay.
So you are constantly learning with other entrepreneurs. A lot of them were like for women in business. So you are with other women in business, you are networking with them, you are learning from like prominent people who have also made it. So those have really helped because out of those I've got a grant.
Wow.
Out of those, I'm actually going to get another grant.
Whoa.
Out of that, I got a loan. Out of that, I've had access to like certain like clients. So those have really helped. I can't pinpoint particular one, but those entrepreneurship programs have really
helped elevate your program.
Yeah.
And that leads to another important question I'll ask you right after this break. So we are going for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back to continue this amazing story. I know you're enjoying it already. Please stay with us. Thank you. You're welcome back from that short commercial break. Still talking to Christabel Ofori, sharing her story. Christabel, we want to dive deep into the financial bit because sometimes I've had an encounter with some people who left corporate to start entrepreneurship, and they faced a lot of challenge because, number one, the business is young, the little money or income that the business is fetching is the same money that is taking care of home, is the same money that is supposed to grow the business. So how did you manage yours?
Yeah, that's actually a topic that makes me think sometimes, question my resign, like, why did I do this? But it wasn't just about the money. I mean, when you're raising a young family, it's also about quality time with the family and then building a legacy for your family or generations after you. So yes, that has been tough. I mean, initially I wasn't even paying myself, like I was just living off as and when. But then through some of these accelerator programs, like I mentioned, it was like you have to pay yourself. And as a young business, I couldn't pay myself up to like even like a quarter of what I was being paid back in Unilever. So that was tough. How did I do it? Just take it one day at a time, seriously. And luckily, like, I have a husband or a spouse who is working full-time. So basically, we're dependent on one's salary in a way, and I was also topping as and when. But I did have savings. I mean, you can't stop a full-time business and get into something you are passionate about without savings. So I did have savings, which is part of what I used to set up my current space. But I also had enough savings to, like, fetch me, like, 6 months salary or 6 months like going and coming, so that helped. But basically I had to like really change my lifestyle, the sort of things I used to enjoy doing or purchasing. A lot of it had to go. It was all about sacrificing some things. So
wow,
that's how it went.
How did you get the machines? Okay, so did you buy the machines all from the savings that you had because you started production?
No, so when I actually started, I hadn't left my corporate job. I was
you
still
started
working.
whilst you were still working?
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
Okay.
So at least see the traction. You need to make sure it's something people will accept. There's a market for it and all of those things. So when I started, maybe I didn't have all of those savings, but basically I think I started with like 500 CDs or something. So when I started, I didn't get these machines.
Okay.
It was like a small kind of whisking machine, not even the electric one.
Wow.
So I would do it by hand.
Whoa.
It was very tedious. Then as the volume was growing and doing by hand was too time consuming, I got a small electric whisk.
Amazing. You've talked about how you have, added touch to shea butter to give it more value. I want you to touch more on innovation. How has innovation affected the growth of your business? And if you can give a specific example of what you have done with your products.
Yes, I would say if you are starting any business, especially one that already, it's industry that already exists, it's innovation that will make you stand out. So for me, when I started, definitely you need to have a niche. I mean, right now, a lot of people are making shea butter. Who are they selling to? For me, it stemmed from my baby's dry skin. So my niche was I want to make products for babies. So it had to be safe, it had to be natural, it had to be gentle for their skin. As the brand grew, the mothers were impressed with how their baby skin were looking, and it's like, I want something for myself as a mother too. And even for me as a mother, I saw that after childbirth, I mean, I was losing my glow and things. So that's when we added the face care. So for face care, it has to be gentle as well. It has to make your face like really pop. So you definitely have to have a niche. That's what we call a niche. So my brand focuses a lot on, we do everything skincare, but the focus is more on babies and facial care. Okay. Then innovation, like you're saying, you need to be very innovative. I would say one of the things that makes us stand out is our use of agri inputs. So for example, we have baby soaps and we are using fresh cucumber. So we use real cucumbers. Cucumbers have amazing calming and soothing effects for the skin. So we are infusing cucumber juice in our products. We have a facial soap called Tomato Glow. We are using real tomatoes. And that comes with a lot of research, a lot of learning, which I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs now don't do. Is basically copying. You can't just copy, you need to spend time. With my chemical engineering background, there are a lot of things I could still do. But I have a diploma. I'm a certified natural cosmetic formulator.
Wow.
So I have a diploma in cosmetic formulation.
Wow.
So it comes with all of, you should be willing to learn and you should invest in yourself. So those are the kind of innovative things we are doing, the kind of agri input, and we always make sure that our products are using ingredients that are therapeutic.
Wow.
So it's not just moisturizing, but it has therapeutic effects for your skin. So those are some of the things we do, as well as innovation when it comes to packaging. So like the way we package our product, the way we package our oils, is, I would say there's a lot of innovation behind that.
Wow. How many employees do you have?
So right now I have about 6.
Whoa.
Yes.
You alone? Let's clap for her.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
How do you manage your team?
Managing a team, for at least I have some experience from my previous job, because working in the factory I was managing over 100 men.
Whoa.
Yes, because production is made up of mostly men. I was actually the only female production manager then, so I'm actually used to managing larger groups. But the thing with this generation is the Gen Zs, you know, a lot of different dynamics, pampering egos and things like that. But I mean, we take it one step at a time, and I have quite a supportive team, so it makes it a bit easier.
How do you get them glued? Because I hear a lot of entrepreneurs complain, they come today and tomorrow they are gone because you're unable to pay them well. So how do you, what's the culture you use in your workplace to keep them supportive of your business?
There are 2 parts to that. So I've not been able to keep all of them. All the 6 are not people I started with.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've had for about, I'll say maybe only 3 of the people are people that go back to more than 2 years.
Wow.
Everybody else, I have the same challenge, so I don't really
But
have...
with those, let's say those who have stayed with you for 2 years, how have you managed them to keep?
So it's not really been about salary, because I cannot afford to pay them how much they are actually worth. But it's about letting them know the vision of the business and letting them know that you are willing to grow with them. As the business grows, they'll also grow. And then whenever there are like training opportunities, I make them attend. So they are not just taking home salary. I'm training them, I'm grooming them, I'm mentoring them, I'm coaching them, which is something they might not get from other places. So they are willing to stay, and they know that there's potential. There's potential. For some of the grants, like I said, I'm expecting, it's going to cover capacity building. And they know that once that I'm going to groom them, and they are not going to pay for that free training. Yeah, so that's how they've stayed.
So you've shown interest in their growth. In
their personal growth. And I'm the kind that, and I learned also this from one of the accelerator programs I did, that you also leave your team to also be entrepreneurs if they want. So for my team, they are not supposed to only work for me. One of them is also good at digital marketing. So when I even see gigs outside, I send it to her. Like, do this. So she's also getting other sources of income. She's not relying only on my income.
That's simply amazing. Wow, well done. So what's the future of this, your business?
Yeah, so in the next 5 years, we want the whole of Africa to mention flow care beauty. Yes. So when it comes to skin care, especially baby care, facial care, we want Africa, we want to be among the top 5 natural skincare brands originating out of Africa.
And how are you going about that?
And at least the good news is now there's AFTA. So my company is registered with the AFTA Secretariat. They've done like their due diligence. They've certified us. So hopefully before the end of this year, we are going to start trading under AFTA. And that's how it's going to start. One country at a time. They are going to experience flow care beauty products. They are going to love it, and it's going to grow.
Amazing. Are you willing to take on somebody to train for free?
So I would say Flow Care Beauty is actually a social impact brand.
Okay.
We do a lot of social impact initiatives. One of them is free skills training.
Wow.
So for that, we target women and young girls in low-income communities. So this is Sakumono area. We've actually done one for the Sakumono village,
Wow.
which is a fishing community. We did a free skills training for about 18 of them.
Wow.
I've also done some for other, like people who have reached out, like I'm done with school or I'm a young mother, I want to learn. So we do paid trainings, but we also have the free skills training. Our target is to train 10 people for free every year.
Wow.
So it's already a policy we have that every year we train 10 people, and they have to show that they want to learn, they want to make something out of their lives, and they can't afford it. Another thing is we do the Prematurity Month awareness every November. Every November is Prematurity Month awareness. So as a social impact brand, we visit mothers of premature babies. We talk to them about properly caring for their child's delicate and sensitive skin, and we give them free products too. So these are some of the things we do. We also mostly source almost all of our raw materials from women. Like the tomatoes, the cucumber I mentioned, there are women farmers we've partnered with. We source from them. We are giving them a source of livelihood.
Exactly.
So we are totally willing to do that.
Exactly. So how many slots will you give to the entrepreneurs? Should someone contact us that they want to learn a trade like yours? How many slots will you give us?
I'll give you 2.
Woo!
They need to prove that they cannot afford it, and this is something they are not just going to learn and sit at home, and that they are going to like make something out of it. So sure, I have 10 slots for the year, so I can definitely give you 2.
Well, now let's talk about just a little bit about personal life. How do you manage entrepreneurship and family?
My slogan is the joy of the Lord is my strength.
Whoa.
Because seriously, so I'm a mom of 4.
Wow.
Yes, I'm a mom of 4, and I have a baby. And I'm running a startup in Ghana's economic situation.
All together at once.
So it's actually a lot. And like I mentioned earlier, you need a strong supportive network. I have another entrepreneur friend, I don't want to mention her name, who was also in Unilever and resigned. Okay. So we all left like a good job to start this, and she's somebody I really talk to a lot, as well as my sister. So these 2 people, every time I feel overwhelmed, like I don't want to do this anymore, like when is the next big order going to come, these are people I talk to, and it really helps to calm me down. So that's basically how I manage it. And I also have like a good prayer life.
Wow.
When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. So basically that, and I've learned to take it one day at a time, seriously, because you cannot do it all.
Exactly.
Because by the time I'm done with here and I get home, the other life is now beginning.
Exactly.
Someone is pulling your leg, your hand, your boobs.
Ready or not.
So I just try to like breathe in, breathe out, and just do what I can. In the past, I used to try to do everything, but that my friend I'm saying told me that I try to be a superman mom, and I don't have to do anymore. I try too hard, so now I try not to try too hard.
Yeah.
Just
Be
take it
soft on
one day.
yourself.
Yeah, be soft on yourself. Take it one day at a time, have a good prayer life, and have people you talk to, seriously. Don't think that I'll talk to them and they'll steal my ideas. Have like 2 or 3 entrepreneur friends that when you are overwhelmed, they can relate with you, because it's one thing to have a mentor. But let's say if your mentor has a corporate job, seriously, they will not understand. They don't understand the frustrations.
Exactly.
Like you just made a big sale, you are ready to go and order the next batch of raw materials, and the price is 2 times. So the sale you made cannot even buy the materials. Some of those frustrations, they will not understand it unless it's another entrepreneur friend.
Exactly.
So knowing that I actually have like 8 people I mentor.
Whoa.
With my busy schedule, I try, because I understand how it is, so I try to also guide them. So I'll say definitely do some of these things and it will help.
Wow, that's amazing. If you have the chance to advise an aspiring entrepreneur watching you right now, what would be your word to them?
I think I've said a lot of it already, but I will sum it up in what I just ended with, that a good relationship with God, seriously, you need God. The God factor really helps, because there's also a lot of competition. So what would make your brand stand out? Aside your innovation, your packaging, the value you are offering, there's also the God factor, favor, that people will be mentioning your names in like rooms where you are not even there. The second one is definitely have a good value you are offering. Don't just copy. Oh, it looks like shea butter is a good business. Let me also get into it. Do your research. Come out with something. Have a niche. Don't just say you are selling to everybody. And then have a strong, supportive network. Have some people you can talk to. When you're overwhelmed, don't like suck it all in and break down. Yeah, like vent. Talk to people. And they should be people who you know can understand. Sometimes they don't even need to advise you, but just letting it out for them to listen really helps.
Wow.
I would say that.
Everyone is watching you. I want you in 1 minute, tell everyone watching you what you are doing and why they should patronize your products.
Okay. So hi everyone, my name is Christabel Ofori, a chemical engineer and a certified cosmetic formulator. We make the most amazing, soothing and therapeutic skincare products, specially formulated for babies and for mothers. The way we formulate it, and then just the science that's backing what we do. We also provide skills training, so if you are willing to learn how to make your own soaps, butters and creams, these are things that we do. The brand name is Flocare Beauty. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook, Flocare Beauty, FLOCAREBEAUTY. We are located in Sakmono Estate and we ship nationwide, we ship globally. Thank you.
It's been an amazing time with you and we can't have enough of you. You're definitely going to hear from us because I know that someone watching is inspired and probably is desiring to be in the space where you are. Thank you so much that out of your busy schedules, I know today is a very busy day for you. You've given us time and then you've inspired someone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Esther. This was amazing.
And that is the beautiful and inspiring story of Christabel Ofori. I know you are inspired. Let's get into her factory to see what she has been doing and how she's been doing them. Come along with us. This is really amazing, and in this beautiful place, products that are affecting mothers and babies positively are made and out there on the market. And that was it with the expedition at her factory. Thank you and bye.